just give you little glimpses of my history a little bit as I'm thinking about this idea of race and its impact on me. As a fifth grader, I went to school in North Minneapolis at the old Jordan School on 29th and Emerson, Irving, as it was. It's a new school now, but I went to the old school, right? And I remember in fifth grade distinctly that with a teacher, and he would assign seats in the class. And he would assign seats, if I'm standing in front of the class, as he often would be, to his right would be a row of desks, and there would be multiple rows. There would go maybe 5, 6 rows of desks, whatever the case may be. And he would assign seats according to GPA. A practice that would be held as discriminatory today. That the whole school district would be sued today had that happened. To put people based upon their performance, you get to sit in a certain place. And ironically, as I would look at the classroom, if I was to just kind of fan my arm this way across, starting on this side of the class to this side of the class, it went from white to black. From white to black. There was never an intervention by the principal. The school social worker didn't come and question his practice about that. That became a way of being in that particular classroom. There was a time when we were doing certain things, and we always knew, my other African American students, we always knew that this particular teacher, he wouldn't give us the benefit of the doubt on things. We knew that. So we had to be 100% spot on, or it wasn't worth the struggle with him. He made that very clear to us over the course of time. He was a stickler about certain things. If you turned in your work and you didn't have your name written in cursive, we used to write in cursive. Remember cursive? We don't do cursive writing anymore out there, right? That's amazing to me. Right? We used to write our name this a certain way, and if it wasn't done properly in that way, then you lost a point. You know, if things weren't turned in on time, I mean, he was very punitive in that way. Okay, we were fifth graders now, so maybe 10-ish, right? And there was one time when we were you can see this level of trauma. I remember this from the fifth grade like it was yesterday, right? Certain things stay with you. Certain things stay with you. And I remember one time we were studying the capitals. We were trying to memorize all the capitals to the different various states around the United States. And there was a time when it came down to it, and I studied hard for this. That whole week or two, we knew it was coming up. I studied for this. And it was another, and it came down to two of us. Myself, who happened I sat in the C+ row. Okay? So I was one of two left standing in this contest who sat, and he was definitely from the A row. So we were before the class and we were doing certain things, and when he gave him his capital, he said Ohio. And he had to turn around and say what the capital of Ohio was. He was just random. He said, check this out. He said, Columbia, not Columbus. He said, and I studied all these things, so that was South Carolina. That wasn't Ohio. He said, Columbia, right? And then he stopped. He knew he had, and I was thinking to myself, oh, I got this one, right? The teacher said to him, listen very, very subtly, he said, what did you say? Mm-hmm. It was clear as day what he said. Everybody knew what he said. He thought about it, he paused, thought about it, he said, Columbus. He said, okay. I was so shook up at what had just took place. He said a state that I knew, I don't even remember it, it was such a blur at this point. I knew the state, I knew it. And I gave an answer that was incorrect because my mind wasn't really on that anymore. It was on what I had just saw took place. And there was a situation that reinforced in my mind that he would give this guy the benefit of the doubt when I just told you, if you didn't turn your homework in, if you were late for this, he was there to take points away. Again, a level of sustained trauma that took place in my childhood